This is a stimulus update and daily news report, and I have so much crazy news to share with you in this video, as well as some breaking news. So a new city is now accepting applications for the $500 per month guaranteed income pilot program. I'll give you more details on that. When it comes to the infrastructure showdown, it looks like that the GOP is backing the moderate Democrats against Nancy Pelosi to try to squeeze Nancy Pelosi out of the corner that she backed herself into. I'll give you the details of what's going on with that. It's pretty crazy. We'll talk about what's happening with the Lambda variant and how a lot of small businesses are not confident moving forward, how numbers in the economy are dropping. Now, what does this mean for the US? I kind of gave a broad overview of the US economy, what's going on in other countries. Now, the Biden administration seems open to a lockdown, which could make a fourth stimulus check necessary. So if we do have another lockdown, even though the Biden administration saying it's probably not going to happen, Dr. Fauci saying we're probably not going to have a lockdown, I don't think they predicted this amount of cases to happen this quickly. You could see how steep this is compared to the other ones. So in terms of another fourth stimulus check, at this point, are we getting a fourth stimulus check? So will Americans get another payment soon? At this point, a fourth stimulus check is not in the package, but with all of the cases going up, with the Lambda variant potentially coming, we could see some cases happening soon, or we could see some more pushes for a fourth stimulus check. We're seeing economists push for it, politicians not so much. Just in terms of the past few days, looks like all the Afghanistan news has taken up a lot of the news, or a lot of the opinions, a lot of these politicians who are for a fourth stimulus check, so they haven't really spoken much about more stimulus. In terms of other types of stimulus checks, families can now apply for Providence's $500 a month guaranteed income pilot program. So what's going on here is certain lower income Providence residents can now apply for a chance to receive $500 a month for 1 year. So this is in Providence, Connecticut. Applications are due on August 21st. And every few days, I'm just kind of mentioning new cities that are part of this guaranteed income pilot program, giving either $500 a month or $1,000 a month for a year or 2 years, usually for several hundred people in an area. This is one of the ways that I think is probably helping people who need more help during these times. It's kind of separate from stimulus checks, although some cities and counties are using federal stimulus money that they received to then give money through these stimulus programs. So it seems that they're using stimulus money for different ways. Some are giving their own stimulus checks, like New Mexico giving $750 stimulus checks. There are other places that are giving guaranteed income pilot programs, so they're using the money in a lot of different ways. Back to a fourth stimulus check though, it looks like that anyone with families are getting a lot of money. So in terms of the fourth stimulus check, I would say probably the best thing to do would be to give people who don't have families, don't have dependents, give them a stimulus check. Could be one time, could be recurring, but at least help that group of people, which are definitely hurting at this time. Next, in terms of unemployment, some are saying that the unemployment benefits could be extended as well because of what's going on with rising cases and the potential threat of the Lambda variant. So lawsuit seeks to force Alabama into distributing federal unemployment dollars. So Alabama is the latest one to have this, to have the lawsuit to enact the $300 per week unemployment boost. Now, when it comes to infrastructure and more stimulus coming, so Janet Yellen, who is the Treasury Secretary, says Biden's infrastructure plan is a down payment on the economy American can and should have. So Janet Yellen has been pro big money, big spending now, give a lot of stimulus now because it'll help out in the long term. So what's actually happening with all this craziness of the infrastructure? We haven't really heard much lately. It hasn't, it kind of comes and goes. It plateaued over the last few days. So Nancy Pelosi braces for showdown with moderates next week over infrastructure vote. So it looks like the 23rd is when the House is coming back, and it looks like it's going to be a big fight. So some Democrats want to vote on infrastructure bill alone, while House Speaker intends to pair it with $3.5 trillion broad measures. So what's going on here is Nancy Pelosi's own Democrats want to just have just vote on the bipartisan, whatever's ready, they just want to have the vote. Nancy Pelosi wants to wait and pair it with the part two, but some are saying that could be an extra few weeks or months. So now Nancy Pelosi loses patience with centrist on infrastructure deal, and there is a lot of back and forth. So Nancy Pelosi said there is This is no time for amateur hour, she said on a private call on Monday, saying there is no way we can pass those bills unless we do so in the order that we originally planned. Trying to stick to the plan that she originally threatened with. But there's a little twist here. So GOP Representative Fitzpatrick says Pelosi doesn't have votes to block infrastructure bill on House floor. So moderate Democrats, Republicans aim to squeeze Pelosi, force bipartisan infrastructure vote. So somehow Republicans and moderate Democrats, meaning the Democrats who are more in the middle, not all the way left, not progressive, are going to try to squeeze Nancy Pelosi into having the vote, which could be on the 23rd coming up. So what Fitzpatrick said is, or actually what came out here is saying that moderate Dems get backup from GOP in bid to squeeze Pelosi, force bipartisan infrastructure vote. Representative Brian Fitzpatrick tells me there is likely enough GOP support to overcome progressive Dems vowing to block bipartisan infrastructure bill. So looks like gearing up for a fight. Democrats and Republicans are working together as they're stronger in numbers against Nancy Pelosi to try to pass something soon. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Deborah Labar says, where do you find rental assistance at? So there is a website. It is the National Low Income Housing Coalition, but it's just the letters. So it's nlihc.org/rental assistance. And you can see all of the rental assistance. So Alabama, it's in alphabetical order here, but it goes by county and city. And you can see that applications, it's still accepting applications. So I highly recommend you check that out. Tell other people about it too. It's still open. There's a lot of money, but a lot of people on waiting list too, so it's slow to go out. Sylvia Gavrilo says, what about the $200 increase in Social Security that Biden promised? Yeah, so President Biden campaigned on the promise of an increase of $200 per month for Social Security recipients, all Social Security recipients. At this time, he's been completely silent ever since taking office, not even mentioning it, even though it's still on his website, which I think is definitely wrong. Marie Charles, where do I go to apply for SNAP program with all these scams and scammers going around? I trust nothing. What is the official site where I could go sign up for the SNAP program? So yeah, great question. SNAP program just increased 25 to 30% permanently. So if you are eligible for it, I highly recommend it. You'll have to sign up through your state. So make sure it's .gov, not just, don't click any of the ads in Google. Make sure you go to a government issued website, and you would probably find out if you're eligible there, and then you could apply that way. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. Do you like my stress ball? You squeeze it and then you feel better. So I'm going to tell you one thing you should do. Do the things that you want to do, because that you only have one life.
Thank you so much for watching. So we actually got to go to the aquarium yesterday with the girls, and the girls loved it. So many really cool fishes. We got to saw a lot of things up close. Love the colors. The girls were just amazed by all the fish that there were, and it was really cool. We got to see some stingrays that looked like they were smiling at us. Yeah, the girls loved it. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my other videos, you could click up here for my other channels, or down here for more stimulus updates, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.